and you do layers of colors. So if it looks like, oh my God, is it gonna be that pink? No, it's not. We're doing layers. You do layers of colors. So as you see, I tried to match this pink up to the jaw form. So that's why I was mixing the pink and the Sahara, because I knew those two colors would probably match up that the best. And it's all about playing with your paints and your colors and just getting to know it and seeing what works. So right now I always start with my lighter colors, and I'm just going to start with this and start laying down some base, and then I'll come back over with my darker colors and kind of, I guess the term would be like ombre, you know, if you get your hair done and stuff like that, you're more familiar with that term, but you're just blending. Then you start blending with your darker colors, but I always start with my lighter. I don't have my cap on here, so if you accidentally tip it, you got to remember to keep your gun upright. At least I do, and I don't always do, as you can see. Just giving it a little clean in between. I always do before I set it down for a minute so my paint doesn't dry inside my gun. Gum everything up. Number one, it rubs the paint off the hair and it starts blending it. I want the paint to adhere to the flesh, not the hair. See, so it's going to start giving it a more natural look because I'm rubbing it out of the hair. I probably should have sanded this guy first. He's got a rush that I should have cleaned his ears out, but it's all right. We'll go ahead and do that now. Because we're going to go back over this with the yaks anyways. I don't want the inside of his ears to be that light anyways. I was just putting a base color down. Usually I take a wire brush to it and some paint thinner before, and as you can see, I didn't do that this time. That's what happens when you skip a step. Especially the ears, because they're usually, if they're waxy or oily, it's good to clean them real good first before you start airbrushing them. Because if you got residue in there, your paint will come up with it. But I'm not that concerned with it because my ears aren't going to be this light anyways. I was just doing it as a base coat. I just kind of keep stuff clean along the way, just because so paint doesn't build up too heavy. On stuff that I don't want it on. Makes cleaning up easier at the end, I believe, my personal opinion. So I just clean along the way, do little touch-ups along the way. Making sure a bunch of paint isn't building up on my tusk. Give it a little depth. I'm just going to start blending in our dark colors. Always work from, like I said, lighter to dark. Covering that stuff up, but then it'll give it better coverage and it'll look more natural. I find the layers of different colors makes it look more natural in the end. Just to kind of bring it back to life. Look like it's got some blood circulating through its veins again. And as you can see, this is your blending. Just kind of goes over and starts blending. This really blends all of those colors together. And of course the tongue's going to go in there, but I'm just trying to blend so it looks more natural. But see, if you see that burnt umber and that pink underneath, makes it look like it's got blood circulation underneath. You see, that's why I do those lighter colors underneath, because it kind of brings that lifelike color tone back to the skin. It makes it look like it's got blood pumping in its body again. To me, that's my personal take on it. I don't like to just because it's black doesn't mean you have to paint it black. I like to try to make it look as realistic. And I still got a lot of learning to do too, as far as, but this is what I've kind of taught myself as far as airbrushing. I wasn't taught like this stuff. It's just from experimenting, and these are the, as far as mixing colors, and I mean, just from my experience in art and stuff like that, and working with paint, acrylics and oils, this is what, to try to make it look as realistic as possible. and my knowledge with what I would do with other mediums in order to get that effect. This is what I do. Black, and I'm just gonna go give a little shot on the inside of the ears just for some shading. And on the inside of the nostrils there, just kind of shade a little bit. And under that lip of the nose, just kind of doing a little shading. Back there in the back of the throat. Just to cast a little shadow. Not much, but that's pretty much. And then I'll clean them up and clean off the eyes. Here on them, so I want to make sure they're not covered up with paint. And then when you do this too, it kind of, the residue paint, it brushes it off, and then you see how you can see just kind of the pink and the underlying. It has that, gives you that more fleshy, that more life, what I was talking about. You start seeing that more lifelike. It's not just a flat black or a flat, you know what I mean? It gives you that more lifelike color. The layers gives you that more lifelike. You get that residue of paint off, and it really starts, you start seeing those layers of colors really well. But you can really see where you start, that pink comes through just ever so slightly. So it gives you more of a lifelike color tone. I mean, we don't want Wilbur here being bright pink. He's not a bright pink domestic pig, but we do still want him, I want him looking like he's still got blood flowing through his veins. And we did pretty good keeping his tusks clean. They're not too bad. I'll probably go over them again with a little bit of, just to make sure, get them polished up. And then I'll also shoot a coat of just slightly on the tip of the nose.
A coat of what?
The clear coat. So I'll do that here in a minute. I'm just making sure, of course with the coarser hair, I've got a little bit of a coarser brush. But I'm just making sure I've got all the paint. There's no paint caked up on. I don't want any paint resin caked up on my hair. So I'm just going over and scrubbing over real good and making sure that any paint residue is, especially out of the eyelashes and stuff like that. I don't want my hair to look cakey from the paint. I'm just giving them a good scrub. Just making sure, I like to make sure they get that aggressive. I know my pigs, when they're either happy or that's how they show their emotions, through their bristles on their back, and this guy, we're making him, so I want to make sure his bristles are good, good and pronounced. Make this guy look as intimidating as possible. Those hair will set, that hair will set. Because I mean, the longer this is on the, I mean, over time, it's going to get drier and drier and drier. So those hair follicles are going to shrink and shrink and shrink. And if this is the position you have it, you know, more than likely it's going to, you know, stay in that position. But I also like them to just dress them up for, but I mean, as long as you're not constantly like, it'll stay like that. Sure, his teethies are good and clean. And then we gotta set the tongue too. Glove isn't sticking because it is like instant. Once you put that activator, it like adheres instantly and forever. As you can see, there are big things going on here at K&C Taxidermy, so make sure you subscribe so you can get notifications on everything that's going on here at K&C Taxidermy. We'll see you then.